Welcome back. And so, top on the brief this morning, the federal government says 25 million Nigerians have so far received the 25,000 naira conditional cash transfer. This was disclosed by the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, while briefing State House correspondents shortly after the National Economic Council meeting chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. According to Mr. Edun, 5 million households have benefited from the direct transfer. He also disclosed that in the last 5 days, no fewer than 11,000 beneficiaries have received 3.5 billion naira from the Consumer Credit Scheme, and over 90 billion naira has so far been disbursed to 500,000 Nigerian students under the student loan scheme. And the National Economic Council has expressed reservations over the tax reform bill forwarded by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly and has called for the withdrawal of the bill. Speaking after the council meeting, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State and NEC observed that adequate consultations needed to be made to get the views of stakeholders, including the state governors, to ensure that the law is favorable to all Nigerians. The bill was forwarded to the National Assembly based on the report and recommendations of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal and Tax Reforms set up by the President to help boost revenue generation in the country. And staying with the tax reform bill, the presidency has clarified that contrary to the submission of the Northern Governors Forum, the bill is not targeted at the 19 northern states. In a statement signed by the presidential spokesman, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, the presidency says the new proposal, as enunciated in the bill, is designed to create a fairer system that will benefit all states, and that the ongoing tax reform seeks to correct the inequity in the current derivation model as a basis for distributing VAT revenue. Recall that the governors of the 19 northern states had rejected the bill earlier this week, especially the proposed amendment to the distribution of value-added tax to a derivation-based model. According to Mr. Ononuga, the new policy initiatives are aimed at streamlining Nigeria's tax administration processes, enhancing efficiency, and eliminating redundancies across the nation's tax operations. 10 bodies have been recovered from the debris of a collapsed story building at Jegede in the Olunloyo area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, while at least 7 persons were also confirmed injured. According to a statement by the General Manager of the Oyo State Fire Service, Yemi Akinyinka, rescue operations are still ongoing. The police also confirmed that while an investigation is ongoing to ascertain the cause of the incident, adequate security has been put in place to prevent suspected hoodlums from taking over the scene of the incident and to protect the lives and property of other residents within the area. As we return to the FCT now, the Senate has reconstituted its ad hoc committee to investigate the alleged economic sabotage in the nation's petroleum industry. In its plenary presided over by the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrow Jibrin, the upper chamber reached this decision after the leader of the Senate, chairman of the ad hoc committee, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, sponsored a motion on the need for both chambers to jointly conduct the oil probe. Senator Bamidele called for the committee to be reconstituted and captioned as National Assembly Joint Ad Hoc Committee to investigate alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry, which was adopted by the upper chamber. And staying with the petroleum sector, the Major Energies Marketers Association of Nigeria, MEMAN, has assured Nigerians of petrol availability and cautioned citizens against panic buying. In a statement by the president of the association, Clement Isong, he says the association has a significant stock of products in its tanks and assures that there are no issues with access to the product. And outside our shores now, the president of Chad, Mohamed Deby, Itno is personally leading an army counteroffensive against Boko Haram after a deadly attack at the jihadist group on a military garrison earlier this week left around 40 people dead. In a statement by the country's presidency on its Facebook account, they confirmed that the President of the Republic, the Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Mohammed Idris Deby Itno, is still camped on the edge of Lake Chad, where he is personally leading Operation Haskanite and holding numerous meetings, instructing and directing in order to leave no chance to members of Boko Haram. And in sports news this morning, Real Madrid La Liga match against Valencia has been postponed due to deadly floods. The game on Saturday, as well as 3 second division games involving teams from affected areas, were postponed. A moment of silence was held also in honor of the flood victims, which will be held at areas which will take place this weekend in Spain, including league leaders Barcelona's clash with Espanyol on Sunday. That was a real low for football in Spain, and may the souls of the departed rest in peace, and we pray that such will not reoccur again.